Hello, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. So nice to see you on this beautiful day of love and light. I've been fighting a little bit here with getting my Android up because I let it run out of juice. And I need my tablet to see what you guys are saying, right? So let me get this logged in and we'll get ready to go. So, how's everybody doing? There's 8 of you waiting there. I'm super curious. What's everybody doing on a Valentine's Day? Saskia might have a romantic date with her handsome husband. Lucky girl. Hey, Catherine, how you doing? My interference red girl. You're waiting for me, John. Wow, okay. I'm super honored. Give me a second though. I'm still trying to get this thing to, it went all the way down to 0. There's now plenty of juice to run it, but it's just struggling opening up the live window where I can see you guys talking to me. It's jumping all over the place. Shouldn't be doing this. I can see my channel. Oh, come on, don't close it. Sorry, guys. So yesterday, kind of got away from me. The morning got really super crowded. And now I'm having to search for myself. It won't let me use my own go to my channel button. It's, there we go. ColourArte Creations, let me in. So yesterday, like I said, really got away from me in the morning. Just so much was happening all at once. Oh, come on, let me in. I can see you guys there. Please let me talk to everybody. It's being really super sensitive. We may just have to do this on the fly where I don't get to talk to you guys, and that's terrible for Valentine's Day. I want to see everybody's replies. But yeah, this is, maybe when we're waiting for something to set up, I can go back and tool around with this thing, but I'm not going to wait to do this. So yeah, the morning got away from me, and the closer and closer I got to 11 a.m., I just didn't see yesterday was a possibility. Little bit of business. We're gonna, and nobody whine at me because maybe they just spent their money a couple days ago, but we're gonna do a quick flash sale for 72 hours till Sunday night. Valentine 25 for 25% off. We've got to raise some capital for some stuff that we're trying to do. So we're going to do just a quick 72-hour thingy. So if anybody's thinking about buying anything, you'll save a little bit of money doing that. If you don't know who I am, my name is Leslie Ohnstad. I'm the creator of ColourArte Products, and I'm your host of ColorPlay Live 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Now, last we left off, we had put a top coat on that gradient piece that I had started in the fall. Okay, now I'm going to put it on the table, but I just got to show you what did it do here in the big panorama. It's crazy, even though I had to soften those textures because they look like the clouds were a little bit too fat. Okay, I am really loving how the colors turned out. I'm going to flip the camera over here in a minute. I've got some wet stuff down. I've already been doing a little testing this morning, so give me a minute to flip the camera. Oh, there's a color you want? Okay, so here we go. We're going to do the flip. Okay, so John, you had mentioned something about that blue. Now, what's so cool, morning, Tara, what is so cool is that was an orange varnish line kind of, actually, it was an orange resin kind of cloudy line. It had that burnt orange and other color in it. It didn't look like it belonged. It did have the blue highlight in it, which you can sort of see right on the edges there when I flash it back and forth, okay? But then I went over the top of those colors with glazes because I wanted to soften them. They look too much like just a flat line of resin. God, if I could get this further back, that way you can see this whole thing. But the colors, the flash and the shift of the colors from the original resin put down, and then I did a tack time highlight with the interference. You can see that line right there, that little line of interference. And then when I went over with them on the varnish, it was crazy. Plus the board itself is painted with a Mayan gold prism pour and then varnished twice, and the color just glows. I'm going to try to get an overshot for you before we really get started today, because I got to say, this piece, I'm really happy. Now, word of warning, when you're taking all that tape off, don't let it completely dry. Okay, you got to get it at right around 6 to 7 hours in. And I had tape on here that was from last fall on the back and along the sides. But kids, that day I did this resin top coat. Hi, Cindy. I took 45 minutes carefully removing the 3 layers of tape. And while I've got this here in barren, this may be a boring moment for people, but your tape starts halfway here and folds under. The next layer of tape goes all the way to the top of the rim and then folds over, right? Then you tape up the back. Then you do another layer of just straight across, like straight across the center as you can get it. And then the next layer is from the center up, and that's when you're creating kind of that cradle on the top where the resin will stay and fill in all those gaps. See how we can get this to where you guys can see this whole thing, because then I can move it up and down. I really need to get some good shots of this anyway for the reels. These things on the top, when you're seeing all that, like that little shift of gold right there and bouncing back and forth, that's from me rubbing the interference during the tack period. That's that 7 hours after these first resin lines were put down. I took interference gold and interference violet and just put little highlights. And you can even see them glowing through that blue one right there under the varnish, because then I put another layer of varnish on top of these. Varnish, let me clarify that. Varnish mixed with prism primary elements. So it was a primary element glaze in varnish on top of those cloud formations. And Taslima and I, now I have to put this thing down. I don't know why I turned the thing down because I'm still standing. We actually looked up, I was trying to find the name of those clouds. What are those clouds called? When you're looking at a sunset and you see the lines going across that sunset. I mean, what are those things, right? On the beach line, you see them at sunset, sunrise. You know, is it gas in the air? Is it jet fuel being dropped, right? What is it, right? So Taslima and I started looking up different clouds. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, I'm sure. There's a necromanius cloud, and it starts with Necra, necra, right? Which in old school from the United Kingdom, old world England, meant iridescent. And it's a type of cloud formation that hits the skyline right at that sunrise or sunset, the conditions have to be like -70 Celsius. And they light up with, and this is not aurora borealis, they light up with every color in the world that you can possibly see. I just looked, I'll put the name in the description, the actual technical name, Nacreous clouds. I mean, when I was doing this little piece, well, I did have a little piece right here. I mean, this is what kind of started the whole thing. When I was doing this little piece, it was that swipe that I wanted to dress up. And then I realized, oh, I could do the highlights here in the violet, in the interference blue and gold, and highlight these areas here and have it give that look of those cloud formations. So you can bet your bottom dollar I'll be playing with this technique more and more. I think it's very unusual. Today, I have another canvas. A little bit later today. What, you're gonna paint today, Michelle? Right. Just one more time, just to be safe, just to say I did it, I'm gonna grab my tablet and see if it'll give me back the YouTube window. I'm hitting restart because for some reason it locked up and wouldn't let me talk to you guys. So I have a board here. No, it's not gonna let me do it. Sorry. We're just gonna have to go cold turkey today, guys. It is plugged in. I'll be able to communicate with you tomorrow. Hi, Casey. My tablet's not working. No juice, or when it got enough juice, it didn't connect right. So anyway, so in that board that I showed you in all those peach tones, right, that one we started with, it was base coated with Prism Pour. Now, why do I do that? Well, when I picked the Mayan gold, I wanted it to have the look of, there's a lot of people laying down gold leaf first and painting over the top of it. It's kind of become a big thing on Instagram, and it's a beautiful technique. But I know when the Prism Pour dries, now you have to use it straight as a brush paint right out of the bottle. And Cindy Porter, she's a animal artist. She uses a Prism Pour a lot. I said, what's the trick to this stuff? Because the surface tension is really strong, and not to be confused with viscosity. Viscosity means how thick it is, but that doesn't mean it has necessarily a tight surface tension. Hey, Royal River Art, how you doing, honey? Surface tension means it dries with a really strong surface quickly. The stronger the surface tension, the faster it's going to dry. Typically on wood, you want to use a high surface tension paint, because when you're painting on wood, you don't want your paint to grain up, go up that grain, right? You don't want it too loose. You have to have a tight surface, right? So that I like painting on top of the dried Prism Pour, whether I'm swiping or I did that varnish glaze. Today, instead of doing a flood coat on our little resin piece, I'm actually going to start with a base coat of the Prism Pour that's already dried. And I didn't put my little thingies on the back. You guys can watch me if you want to. I'm banging my banging my little thumbtack thingies here. Actually use a big giant paper roll to get them in. These are really super handy on your table. These little thumbtack things, they're fantastic. It keeps your piece from sticking directly to the surface, whether you're using acrylic or resin, right? Of course, me trying to do this on camera is really dumb. I don't have a hammer here. I do have a rubber mallet across the room. You might be more recommended to use a rubber mallet than your 12-inch paint roll. But this is what's at my fingertips at this very, very moment. I just realized this did not have any legs on it. And it's much easier to pick this thing up and twirl it around. So the color I painted with was abalone shell. Now, I don't know how close I have to get for you to see all the colors of the rainbow in this thing. It's got kind of aurora borealis effect. It's all 5 colors. It's like a blend of all 5 colors. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're nervous. Well, they're really fun to use, but I prefer to use them as a brush paint. They are the base of my varnish stuff that I do, my swipes that I do. I like that the paint glides across this like glass, whether I want to do a swipe with a acrylic. Today we're going to try to do a little swipe with some resin. I'm a little bit nervous, so I was also testing. I was doing a little off-camera testing some colors of, this is our Vivid Intense Light Blue, reminds me of that. Yeah, me too. I love that abalone shell. This reminds me of the, this Titan Light Blue reminds me of that Matisse Light Blue that's almost periwinkle. I'm in love with this color. Now, I made up one with the Vivid Intense and some Illuminate. These are in resin already. I already have my resin mixed up. So these are mixed up in resin. I added some Illuminate to this, so it looks like I need probably a little bit more resin in that one. This is the Titan Blue, but I added a couple drops of something I'm using to activate cells. I'm not quite sure if I can bottle and use this stuff, so it's just kind of a mixture of a couple different things I mixed together. And I did get an interesting reaction using it slightly over some jasmine, pre-mixed in Vivid Art Fluid. You'll see me do it again, and this light blue. And of course, in honor of Valentine's Day, kids, I'm gonna stick with the pretty pinks, and you know, it's the one day when we get to do pink and red and gold, and no one argues with us how much pink, red, and gold we've got. So I probably have way too much of this mixed up, but I want to kind of do a test because I added Illuminate to this product here also, which my bottle's pretty stained up, can also create lacing, the Illuminate dye. Okay, let's make some more of the jasmine color. So primary elements, jasmine. I know, it's the most beautiful periwinkle in the world. I'm in love with that color, Casey. Absolutely in love with that color. So I may want more than that. Let's, this will be my these are the 2 dominant colors with a couple accent colors. Happy Valentine's, everybody. And I apologize, I cannot see all your comments. I was even gonna do a little pop quiz today, so we're probably gonna have to do one on the weekend because I cannot see what anybody's saying right now due to technical difficulties. It was my fault. I let the juice in the Android run down the tablet. It just came on before we started. That's why I was on like a minute late. And I could see the YouTube channel, and then it suddenly closed off and it's not letting me in. So I wasn't gonna hold you guys up while I'm trying to figure out how to transmit, right? So there is the Vivid Art Fluid mixed with some jasmine. Bada bing, bada boom. Right. Jasmine is such a pretty color, and it's perfect for this whole Valentine's thing, right? In your face pink. However, I think I want to add a little blue something to it. Let's dress this up with a tiny bit of interference blue. It'll definitely flash against this beautiful periwinkle that we got going on here. And let me find my spoons. Oops, sorry guys. Like I said, everything in live happens. My spoons were stuck under the leg of my thingy. Yeah, I know. I love the hot pink. In your face hot pink. Give me a second to get this thing reestablished here, because a bunch of stuff just fell off while I was trying to get you back on the camera here, centered off. So let's get some of this interference blue. It will show really gorgeous in that. It does, doesn't it? Periwinkle goes with everything. You need some crimson lush. Well, you know what? We got crimson lush if that's you want, Casey. But hot pink and black I can do, yeah. And Tara's right. Periwinkle just seems to be a really, it's almost a neutral. You can get away with it as a beautiful neutral background color, right? And that's a cool thing. Now, as soon as we add a little bit of blue in here, this is the jasmine with a pop of some interference blue. It's gonna have fun. I hear Harley. You better stay away, dude. We're playing with resin. Okay, I got a couple other colors here. I hope it doesn't mess up our little color thing we got going on. Neutral without being boring, right? That periwinkle blue is very neutral. I don't know. I almost started with a gray background on this. Surprise, surprise. I was really going towards wanting some kind of neutral background, but then when I thought about what day this was, I knew this would pop a whole lot prettier. I'm going to get some of this old rose, some of the sun-kissed pink. Now, sun-kissed pink is a metallic, purely pigment metallic. I really, you got to shake these up. Really shake them up. But that sun-kissed pink is kind of be a peachy pink. I should have changed. I need to change all my caps to the non-child safety bottles. I still have the child safety bottles. They're, oh, come on, buddy, draw it for me. I have the hardest time getting the color to come up the dropper for me. There we go. There we go. Whoa. I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle violet to that because I know that violet goes beautiful with coral. Okay. So there's some of that sparkle violet. So it's kind of matching the tone of where we're going with this. Ooh. Yeah, that is one hum. That's that sun-kissed pink. I think the sun-kissed pink already has interference violet in it, so me just adding those big sparkle flakes just like pumped up the volume on that violet. See that? That is a gorgeous, that's the purely pigment metallics. All right, let's do, I really want to do Old Rose. I'm going to have to put in the resin first. Now, when we put some violet in the Old Rose, it turned it like the pink diamond prism pour color was what everybody was saying. I'm going to stick with 2 because I know how concentrated that stuff is. And holy blinginess. Talk about blinginess. Bling it. We're making everything bling. Now, what I want to do, I've never tried before. You bear with me, guys, because I'm going to try to do either a swipe from one end over or like a center swipe, off-center swipe down. And I'm going to lay this color underneath it, and you swipe the colors on top. That's what's supposed to happen when you're getting the lacing. This one, I did it both ways. I tried to swipe the color on top of the blue and then the blue over the color, so there's like 2 layers of it, right? Wild berry, woo! Pretty color, guys. Louis McKay said she used some wild berry. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, so here's some old rose. Oh, I already did it. Oops, sorry. Back on track. That little dot of old rose got covered up with the mica powder. I forgot it was there. Okay, let's see what color we get here. Ooh, oh, look at that. These are completely different pinks. So the only thing we really, really, really need is some kind of gold, right? Can't do anything without some kind of gold. Now, I love golden maple, but it has a tendency to be a little big and flake. I want something finer. I have something here that's a little bit finer. We call it red gold, and I'm not sure if it's in the line yet. I might just add that on here this weekend because I really like this color. It's called red gold, and it's really beautiful. It's small particulate, ultra fine. But if you look at it, you see I see a bunch of other colors of the rainbow in it. It's kind of a sister to the golden maple, but this is a larger flake. Sort of a sister. I wouldn't say a direct, but close relative, right? Right, a really, really, really close relative. Now, when it comes to the gold, we don't need much. I still have another half a cup of resin on the back end, so we're not gonna run out. And I mean, believe, I wanna do an acrylic swipe and do those clouds on top again. But I wanna see if I can't use the Prism Pour base as a swipe vehicle, right? So this stuff will slide over the top with a little bit of heat. Hey, Mandy, how you doing, honey? Mandy's here. Be careful. What does she have to be careful for? What did Mandy do to be careful for, right? Hey, darling. How you doing, Miss Amanda? So good to see you on Happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's to all the peeps that are on our group here. Woot, woot, woot. This is so exciting to everybody. Okay, I'm also going to do something really, 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 really out of character. You don't normally see me using other people's stuff, but I'm really curious about this liquid leaf. It has that turpentine smell, and I have a feeling it will create patterns when used as a swipe color. I just have a feeling. We're going to be experimenting with it first. I'm dying to do this. Now I just have to find something that I can pour it out in and get some into this cup. Let's add a tiny bit more. I'd say there's maybe 10 good drops of this in here. I know that when we were experimenting with the stone coat stuff, the material, they had these one pot color solutions they used for countertops, and it was a form of Rust-Oleum's lacquer that smells like turpentine. I mean, that's the stuff that's in it that creates all these crazy patterns when you're using it. So we'll see how this reacts in that resin. Looks good so far. Wow. Other than it took down the tone, it's not as red and pretty anyway, that plaid gold. I'm gonna have to add a little bit more oomph back in there. took some of our gorgeous color out. That's really interesting. It seems kind of matte, but if it's going to create lacing, it's all about trying to get the patterns in the acrylic or the resin, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to do. It's all about the bling and the bam and the cells and everything else we can get in there. You know, that is so pretty. I wish it would just lay on top like that. It seems to fall. Okay, well, we'll be doing that as I don't know what we're going to be doing. So I've got one that's got the Alumilite, one that's got the, yeah, it browned it out a little bit, toned it out, almost like a bronze, Casey. Casey said it browned it out, and she's right. It looks more like a bronze. Now, I have some acetate papers here to swipe with. I have my colors. I'm kind of trying to get them off here so I don't knock them over. Yeah, this is the Alumilite one. I have a feeling this is probably going to lace up more than this one. It's a mix of a couple things that I was hoping would create it, but it seems like it wants to be looser. I don't know. I'll put a little dabble here and there. Okay, so here is my canvas. Let's see how far back we can get so we can get to our canvas, because I'm going to sit down and try to do this. Now, the question is, dead center's kind of boring. So, well, stuff floating in the air. I do have good circulation, but if you're going to ask me about my desktop, this thing's changed every single time we do an event. There's white butcher paper put underneath it. This is a silicone on the roll, Tara. I usually keep this dead center, and I have 2 pieces of acetate on each side that can take the overflow if I'm playing with molds and stuff, right? Because you're going to be sliding them back and forth. So I think I want to go an off center. I kind of somehow have to make a mark for myself here. I'm looking for a pencil, but I may not be able to find one. Because I don't want it to look perfectly dead center here. I kind of want it to start here. So I just got a little mark on the side here. So I kind of know where I want to start. And my instinct is to, somebody said something to me. I can't see what you said. It was a long sentence. You're going to have to say it again, and I apologize profusely. My tablet is not working. I clean mine several times as I go. Tara, it's a challenge. Tara, and as I'm going, I am not without, and now I'm looking for it right now. I am not without my bottle of spray alcohol. And then the mat, anything that drops on it pulls right off, right? Oh, as far as drying, someday I'll load up pictures for you guys so you can see the resin chamber that I built for myself. I built a little resin chamber. So I want this color to be the one that we swipe over. I kind of wanted it to be stop and start. Having trouble figuring out how I'm going to control how to pour this thing. I find paper cups much easier for pouring. I can always put more in there. Harley, off. We have a friend here that wants to be part of what we're doing. So let's get a line. Let's start with a line across. This is the stuff that has the homemade cell activator stuff I think might work, right? Actually, I might have put that up a little bit too high. Okay, and I know the gold usually is put on top, but because this could potentially lace, I really don't know what I'm doing here. Resin workers, I can see Mandy going, Leslie, what are you doing? But I want to do a little dribble of gold, little dribble of gold. I think this stuff may lace, and the only way for us to find out is to test it live on camera. Sherry Ellis did warn me to do this ahead of time. And I did the little tiny test right here on that little map that I did. But that was it. So we'll see. This turns out. This jasmine color certainly is gorgeous. So if I can get it at an angle here, because it has to go above. The color is supposed to swipe over the ones below it, right? So in theory, these swipe over this. So before I lay all that whole big pink line down, let's see what happens. Can I warm it and swipe it now? My gun's a little backwards because it's the way it's sitting. I got my little thingy on it. I warmed it up. Let's see what my swipey paper does with it. That's not bad at all, actually. Let's see what that color does underneath there. Well, it looks like we're getting some texture there. Something's happening. Yeah, something's happening here. So I can probably get away with it. I don't know how far down that swipe's going to go. I was imagining more of just it coming down to here and still leaving some of the background. We'll see how this is going to work out. Never quite done it this way before. I do have wedges and stuff is more powerful tools to do this with. So let's, while we got the chance to do this, I'm just going to go for broke now and do this all the way across the top. God, this is so pretty. I'm in love with that color. This is that sun-kissed pink. Ooh, that is such a super color here. Well, I hope I'm going the right way. Happy Valentine's, everybody, because I'm using Valentine colors, right? Of course, part of me wants to throw some of this in there. This is really thick. The stuff with the Illumilite is thickening up a little bit more than I'd like. So I'm going to stick to this color here that has that custom cell activator in it. It's flowing better. And then we have that's the old rose. Ooh, we got some paint dripping off here off the edges. Let's get that buck up here. See, my drips are real pretty right here, right? So it looks pretty, right? I feel pretty, oh so pretty. But I'm still a little lost as to where I'm going to go with this. I mean, this is not exactly how we're doing like our regular swipe all the way down. I'm seeing somebody say something and I can't stop and read it. It looks like love. Looks like love. I know. I love that color. So, okay. Should I swipe this and see what it's going to do? Or should I continue all the way down? You know, I may be able to get away with just a center river swipe. It doesn't necessarily have to be the whole stinking board is covered, right? Oh, Mandy, I wish I had you on the phone right now, honey. Because there's some color, but there's colors on this mat right here I actually want to pick up. Put them right back up here again. Because it's dripping. Okay, so I've seen a river swipe where we just did the center. And even though I was planning going one direction, this is looking more like a center river swipe. Yeah, swipe, right? Yeah. All right, let's fill some of this in. It wasn't my plan, but this is the thing about doing stuff on live on camera and watching it unfold before your eyes. I mean, I kind of want to go this way just to see what they do when they run over one another. Ay, 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 ay. I did that vase yesterday. Yeah, you know what? I really am excited about those vases, Michelle. I've been watching someone else on Instagram who did a vase, made me think of you yesterday. She is letting that resin kind of thicken up before she does her things. Yeah, I was thinking of either swiping this way, just back and forth, or do I just go one direction down? And I'm going to wait for you to tell me what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, Mandy, here. Because I can go straight down or I can go across and see what happens. It's kind of interesting if you just have a pattern in the middle. I'm not sure what's going to happen if the whole board, half of the board gets covered, right? And yet there's a lot of resin here. Maybe both directions, like both go this way and that way. Yeah, because this is so stinking pretty the way it is, right? I was thinking like a wavy middle. Look how pretty that color is. I could, quite frankly, girls and boys, I could let this dry like this and it would be beautiful. Opposite sides. Start in the middle and swipe both ways. No, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, we saw, you guys saw me meandering. We now know all the possibilities here. I'm adventurous enough just to leave it as is because I think a center pile of beautiful sparkly color in the middle of the canvas is even interesting. This I don't like. So swipe to the right, this way. Like this way. Is that what Mandy's saying? Because when I swipe down, okay, I'll swipe left to right. Left to right meaning this, or left to right meaning this, Royal. Short way, long way. Yeah, I'm waiting for comments. Short way, long way. And meanwhile, I'm going to warm it up. Swipe over what you don't like. Actually, I like it all. She just says yes. River's non-committal. The short way. Okay, I'll do the short way. I really got excited by looking at it the long way, but I'll go the short way. What the hell? And I do have this tool here. And I have the one with the Alumilite. Yeah, and the Luminite's thicker, but it does, now Luminite will lace as it goes over something. Normal cell activators in resin, you want to, sorry, I'm trying to get resin on this thing. you want to pull the color over it. All right. Let it get in there. Wow. Well, would you look at that? And I'm just going to put that paint right there on the sides that the thing swiped off. I don't want to mess with my pattern there. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we're getting some kind of patterns in there. All right, let's put more of this Luminlight on there. This is what I was doing. I was pulling it on this. So it was plenty of the Luminlight stuff on there. Then it's a quick heat, because this should be warmed. With this tool, we'll have to do it 3 times. Oh, I don't know, Catherine, but thank you. I stressed the whole morning going, what am I going to do? I mean, I can see it in my head. Okay, with this thing, you just kind of have to lay it down and then just let it pull the colors down with gravity. Yeah. This is just a test canvas. That's a lot of color in there, though. Don't do all of it? Someone just told me not to do all of it. What? I don't know what that means, because I just did the center. Use different products helps the cells. God, I don't want to bake it. I'm getting too close to that fire. Okay, one last area. We got a lot of resin that's poured off here. See, this mat gets a lot of stuff that falls on it. So I'm running out of a little bit of paint right at the end. I have no idea what this thing's gonna do. Okay, I guess to keep with what we're doing here, I'm gonna have to add blue to this thing and do that last section, even though it's getting really sticky here. I don't like sticky. Yeah, but it's not, it's a resin skin. It's not gonna be paint skins. That's resin skin material. Those are resin components. That's not a... I'm just warming that up. Just warming it up slightly because it was kind of cold when I swiped that last group. Wow. Seeing me get messy and play is inspiring you, huh, Casey? That's good. Okay. So let's get the other resin out. I have another thing of resin here that I think, again, I'm not exactly thrilled with how this is going so far, but I am going to go with a flow here and just kind of pull everything off because it looks like I'm going to have to pull this pink up some way, maybe with just the gold, like just pink and gold. I don't know. This is the rest of that sun-kissed pink. God, I love that color. Ooh, that's in the Purely Pigment Metallics. It is stunning in the resin. But besides everything else, of course. So I'm not really seeing a pattern where I'm going to go. And every single time I start a fresh canvas like this, I get lost. I'm sure some of you guys feel the same way. You're like, now what do I do? What do I do to make this different? So this gold is really interesting because it's got that stuff in it that could create lacing. So now, I don't know if this is smart or not, but remember, we've got the prism pour here. So I can get away with some clear, I think, and blow these other pinks over the top of that other thing. I'm thinking, I don't know. Sort of like how they do a beach pour, you know, where part of it's clear. Let me get some sticks here to move the stuff around. My table's getting really crowded all of a sudden. If you wonder why I'm getting quiet, it's because I'm thinking what to do with this thing. I know this seems a little nuts, but for some reason, those big blue lines made me feel trapped. And this gold did not. So I'm going to try to heat it from the other end and get that blue to run back up, because I don't want to lose my beautiful blue. I need this camera to see me. See you later, sweetheart. Bye. So I'm letting the blue run back. I know you guys can't really see this, but I have to have it tilt up. And I can't grab my phone or I'm going to get resin all over it. Bye, Mandy. Bye, honey. But I'll show you in a minute as soon as we get there, because I'm doing it at an angle, right? So we can run that blue back up and it makes it much more interesting. Yeah, she won't be able to hear me or see anything, but she can still kind of watch what's happening. Yeah, that blue going back up is now getting really pretty. You can see that. Now this is becoming much more pleasant of a swipe. Much more beautiful of a piece. Ooh, I got this. I put my finger in. I didn't mean to do that, but I got this gorgeous tilt popping up here. Wow. Okay. Has it though? Look at all that gold there, guys. There's a lot of gold at the top. I know the gold is slipping, sliding everywhere, but this is a lot more interesting to me than where we were going to begin with, right? Where it was like too many blue swipe sections. Kind of wasn't, yeah, if you don't love it, tilt it. Now, I kind of want to do a little something at the top where that gold is, but I got it. I'm changing my gloves right now. They are full of resin. I have resin everywhere, if you can't tell. Everywhere. That's one thing about resin day. Yeah, isn't this much more interesting? I think it is. Even the top that's like irregular at the top. I like that. I don't need it to be this perfect. These gloves don't want to come on when your hands are sweaty. I don't need it perfect, right? I want it interesting. I'm liking that very interesting ghosty blue. It's, thank you, Joan. I was nervous. I was getting scared. Here, but I got to get the gloves on and make sure this thing is all balanced out before we do this. Now, oops. Yeah, me too. I like the negative space at the top. I'm with you, John. And again, I'm finding something here where I can lay all my tools on with this epoxy. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, I need something right here. So, because you got to get all your tools off and get them peeled off, and I can't have them in my, underneath my feet here while I'm trying to move stuff around. So, getting all the swipey stuffs off. Anything we won't need will be removed. All bottles out of the way, because then we're going to take a turn and look at this thing. Now, if I want to decorate it, obviously I can't do anything until next time or tomorrow, obviously once it's dried. Now, while we have the opportunity, we got all of this resin here. So before I go sit and playing around with the tilt, because I've chosen not to tape this off, I'm going to do what we do when we're acrylic pouring, but this is much messier. I'm going to try to get some resin on these tips here so it looks like, I mean, I realize this is a practice piece. I went in there with the idea this is a practice piece. Yeah, I don't like messes though. This drives me nuts. I can't stand it when I get a mess like this. So I'm like wads of paper towels, alcohol, wipe it down. So I gotta almost like, you know, you can't put your elbows down on a dirty table, right? Even though I don't paint with my elbows. And then just for a little safety, because I want to pick it up and move that thing around, I'm going to, these will stick. I'm not going to be able to use the resin, okay? But it's going to give me a workspace if I have to mix something up or pull something out. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at this. I'm really kind of digging how this, oh my God, look how that gold ran down. You're right. I wouldn't, to be honest, I don't want to change this at all. Damn it, why did it have to stick off? There is a little corner over here where it missed. So, I mean, these are the things you have to look at, right, when you're done. It missed a little resin here. So I've got a little clear resin I can pour in there. Any little pocket. I love that, like the gold looks like it's running down. That's a technique I've not seen before, but I was just trying to bail myself out of what I felt was some deep doo-doo. Yeah, these pinks are pretty. So we used Old Rose with Violet, Sun-Kissed Pink from the Metallics, Jasmine mixed in the Vivid Art Fluid. I like it just the way it is. And then this Vivid Intense Titan Blue. I'm in love with that blue. Oof, it's so pretty. Yeah, I really, when I did, this was the test sample. This is what I was doing just as I was coming on camera. I wanted to see what that Titan Blue and the Jasmine Pink looked like. And I went, yeah, those are great Valentine colors. Now, I was going to do something fun. I don't know if it'll ruin this piece because now I kind of like it. But previously to this event, I've been pouring off the faces. Dip your finger in the gold and touch up the bald spot. This spot right here, I put clear in. You want me to put a little gold in there? Okay. Let me try that. We can do that. It looks a little bit more gold than the rest though, John. See, with it running like this, it's so much more delicate. With it running like this, it's much more delicate. It's not just a bald spot. I mean, look at what the abalone shell. No, I'm not going to do anymore. Look what the abalone shell's doing, how it's playing with that gold. I'm just going to let it run off so it looks natural, John. And I filled it up with clear because I'm not going to muck with it because of how this is doing that beautiful runoff. And I don't have anything on the mat that's going to do what that's doing, that beautiful frosty effect. I know, I can't wait to see what this is going to look like in a couple hours. So pop any potential bubbles we've got. Well, that made me very happy. Yeah, it actually, the bulb that when I put the clear over there, it didn't look bad. It kind of looked like it meant because that's not white. That's abalone shell underneath there. So thank you. And I really like that I was not planning on it, but now I've learned a lesson. I can do the brighter colors on the top, spread them all the way up so the gold comes all the way to the top, tilt it all the way back, so I'm tilting those blues back. I sure like this technique a whole lot better than just laying it down like a regular swipe. Okay, a little bit of business. Most everybody's answered the secret phrase, the people that won. There's 13 winners, and I think 8 people replied. So take a look at that winners list and to see if you won or not, because they were announced on Monday. And we do have a special code. I got some news this morning. I need to raise some real quick cash. So we've got a 72-hour sale for you guys, Valentine 25. It'll go off on Sunday night, I think. Sunday morning, Sunday night, I got it. Somewhere around Sunday, it's gonna go away. It's really meant for today, but I figured if somebody saw the replay, they may want to take advantage of it. What else is going on? Congratulations to Payson, the winner of the $400 shopping spree. Our next event is April 27th, 28th, the last Saturday and Sunday of April. We'll be doing our next educational event, and our affiliates will be thrilled to have you there to sit and watch them shake their stuff and show their stuff off. And I want to thank you for joining me. And you guys have a great day. Yes, congrats to all the winners. You guys have a beautiful day. I will see you Friday at 11 a.m. and love you guys. Bye.